Guys, welcome to the stream. As you're trickling in here, we're going to be doing some Friday night fights here with ValorAsh. Hey Ash, what's going on?
Not much, man. I've been taking it easy today.
So it is what 6 p.m. for you guys? 7? I forget.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So I'm here in Spain right now, and it's just past midnight. And do we have this egg on screen?
Yeah. Oh wait, on Twitch screen, I don't see.
Do they have it on screen? So anyway, while we're loading all that up, we're gonna be doing.
What are you doing in Spain?
I am visiting some family for my daughter's first birthday.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, so some nice, very needed vacation, excellent food, just a grand time. So yeah, that's where I'm at here. I just finally got to kick back a little bit and stream with you guys, so should be a lot of fun. We're doing what regionals today?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so let's see if I can keep my head straight with all these different metas. I know regionals was just a compilation of all the previous metas, so basically it came down to no grass, no psychic, no
normal and
no
no
normal.
bug.
Right. The what? Oh. So yeah, so we're seeing this egg on Mason's screen here. We'll see if anybody can guess what it's gonna be. But yeah, regionals meta, it's gonna be everything basically except mono type grass, mono psychic, mono normal, and there's one more. I always forget that last one.
Bug?
Bug. Yes, because right after that regionals we got like 2 metas in a row with bug types. So basically like a freestyle light, no Deoxys defense, no Cresselia to worry about. So it just shakes things up a little bit. You're going to be using not necessarily a team of 6, but just a hodgepodge among these 12 listed here. I'm seeing Altaria, Tropius, Skarmory, your famous triple flyers, Medicham, Swampert, Bastiodon, Venusaur, Lantern, Azumarill, Haunter, Sableye, Gallade, and then Melmetal, Bronzong, and Probopass. So what's changed since the original run on regionals? Has Charm shaken things up very much?
I don't think it's shaking things up enough for me to even consider running a Charmer just yet. I've seen a couple other people try and make it work, but not too much success.
Okay.
It's I just find it very limiting in a format like this to run moves like Razor Leaf or Charm, even though sometimes it can be useful. I just don't like the low energy production.
Yeah, I guess it's something to account for. Like if you had a team that was, 5 weak to Charm, you might not be able to do that anymore.
Right.
I kind of feel the same way. A lot of Charm users end up being like in a big shield deficit much of the time, is what I felt. Whereas, Razor Leafers, they tend to be paired up with some lower energy charge moves. And it doesn't seem like very many Charm users have low energy charge moves that I can think of off the top of my head.
Right.
So that's kind of like a huge downside in my view. But yeah, you definitely want to account for it at least. And it hasn't been that long, so not that much has changed. Ultimately, it's the same old, but there have been a few new moves, and namely that's Hydro Cannon on Swampert, which I see you're going to be testing out a little bit today. And then we also have the new Bronzong moves, which make it very, very interesting, right? You have Psyshock and Bulldoze added to its move pool. What do you see yourself running Bronzong with?
Personally, I'd like to run Bronzong with Psyshock and Bulldoze. I'd already liked Bronzong for the first time around, but with the new move pool, it's absolutely solidified itself as one of my favorites. Just because Psyshock is a very good move, damage for energy wise, and then Bulldoze gives it the much needed cover that it needs over the other tanks. So it's not bulky enough, to be on like the level that Bastion and Probopass have, to have their kind of bulk. But what it does have is it has Bulldoze, which allows it to beat those tanks and also perform the same role as the tanks, which is mainly to counter the flyers like Skarmory and Altaria, just to a lesser extent that the other tanks do. So it's a tank that has the ability to take out other tanks while sacrificing a weaker matchup against the flyers, but still getting the job done.
Yeah, and it's not like it doesn't do anything against the flyers. I mean, it's still doing neutral against Altaria for sure, and it's not doing neutral. It's doing not very effective damage on Skarmory, but Confusion does so much damage that it's still it pulls in a fair amount of weight, right?
Right.
So
as far as
oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, as far as changes go, I'd agree with you. The biggest one is Swampert. I did see it run a lot.
What moves on Swampert do you think? Do you think I've heard Sludge Wave is pretty good in this particular meta? It helps a little bit against some matchups like Altaria, for example.
Personally, I like Hydro Cannon and Earthquake. But I think there's definitely a niche for Sludge Wave.
Well,
there's no single right answer with it.
I am seeing some chat engagement here. It seems like so far nobody's guessed your egg hatch. They're all kind of desperately wanting you to click on that egg.
Should I do it?
Should you do it? I don't know. I think gave him a couple more chances. A couple people are saying Piplup. A couple people someone says Sneasel. They really want you to touch that egg. Tiwa still had a serious question, and it's or comment, I guess, is that Sludge Wave also helps against Azu. So I guess that's a fair point for sure. Azu doesn't want to be taking a Sludge Wave anytime.
I feel like with the rise of Swampert a little bit, I feel like it's definitely invited some more grass types to be seen on the field. Whereas the first time around, I was more comfortable running Gallade as like the pseudo grass with Leaf Blade, but this time around, I ran Venusaur because I really wanted a hard grass type specifically for Swampert. And then also the interesting thing that comes out of both of those interactions is I think that Altaria might see a comeback because it beats both grass and water.
What about Air/Tropius? Have you seen it in play very much?
I personally run Air/Tropius.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I do prefer that moveset over Razor Leaf.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can get started, right? Who's your first opponent going to be?
Anyone on stream can go ahead and send me one. I see Tiwa still, or Mr. Valor, if you want to go ahead and send me one.
All right. I think we should probably click this egg. What do you think, you guys? I mean, I know there's a little bit of interest here for this egg to be clicked, so. All right. Oh, did you just minimize?
Should I go for it? Yeah, I just minimized it.
That's so funny. And it's a Finneon, which nobody guessed.
Wow. That's a horrible disappointment, though.
What are the IVs? Oh, trash.
Garbage, yeah. It's just not even worth it. I already have my PvP one.
Yeah. Alright. So, you guys, if any of you on stream wants to challenge Mason to a battle, I know you're going to be sending out a few DMs to people. We're doing regionals meta. We're going to be trying out some stuff, watching a top level player in action here. And it looks like it says Gemma Banks is making a team.
Oh, right on, Gemma. You don't have to make teams. You can just go ahead and send me
Yeah, it
send me
just
a
says
request and throw any three
send
in
any
there.
threes, and we'll just go right at it. As long as they're eligible.
Yeah,
It
just
looks like
don't
we got
surprise
that
me with like.
new animation for the egg hatching, too. So I guess it
Oh yeah, I
updated
love
finally.
it. Yeah, it's a very
Is
cool
it
animation.
faster, or was I just not paying attention?
I think it's the same speed. It's still like 3 shakes and then a hatch. It's just they upgraded the background a little bit.
What I want is to be able to click out of it, because after seeing it once, I'm good for life, I think. And so when I have 9 eggs hatching on like community day, I really want to just be able to exit out, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right on. I got Gemma Banks first.
We do have some interest. I know we were talking a little bit about it offline as far as Ultimate Showdown. Which meta are you most excited to play out once you get the chance to meet all the guys in Philly?
Definitely regionals, just because it's the
Really?
most diverse. Hmm
Mm-hmm.
I'm most excited for regionals, and then probably the one I'm second most excited for is Rainbow.
Oh wow. Okay, so you have a slam dunk matchup here. Expect an insta switch from Swampert, goes to Skarmory, which is a very nice situation to be in because out comes Lantern, and it's a farm fest out here. Water Gun is just going to chip away at the Skarmory. Really have nothing to be shielding here. Skytack is going to be chipping away at this Lantern, but with a ton of energy, it's going to be able to just send a nice parting gift to whatever comes out next. So we'll just be able to see these two fairly high damage TDO, bulky, famous staples of the regional meta just go at it each other. So Lantern, again, is just a hard counter to this Skarmory. At some point, it might actually have to use one of those Thunderbolts. Either we get a shield off, or we just take it out completely, but we'll be able to have a little bit of energy to go into the next. So he doesn't shield. We're 2-2 on shields, but now Swampert did come out. He does use the Thunderbolt unless he miscalculates and he thinks it's a Hydro pump. We shouldn't be expecting a shield here, and he does go for the shield. That's interesting. I think he just kind of misjudged how much energy he had exactly, because if it had been a Hydro Pump, it sure would have done a lot of damage. So out will come this Hydro Cannon. Don't expect him to use a whole ton of energy on you. And he does have a little bit of energy going into this. Venusaur is going to take it out pretty quickly. Insta switch out before the Frenzy Plant, and out comes Venusaur. So Sableye comes to greet him. This is an interesting matchup in that in the fresh, no energy, equal HP lead scenario, Sableye can normally goes down, I believe. Venusaur has the upper hand. However, with the energy disadvantage and all that, it might change a little bit. It's not a bad spot to be in, just having Venusaur in the back against that enemy Swampert. So as long as Venusaur is able to come out, our Venusaur side is able to come out relatively unscathed, it looks like we're in a pretty good spot. So out comes those Frenzy Plants. We're in a situation here where we just want to farm a little bit more energy, come out with those foul plays, and we'll see how much damage this actually takes. I think it'll be within knockout range of this Venusaur. Sure does take out that Venusaur. We have a little bit of energy. Swampert's going to have to spend some energy, and sure enough, he does use it against a Sableye, and with Venusaur in the back and a Frenzy Plant ready to go, this is GG. Don't see this Swampert pulling out a victory. And sure enough, out comes this Frenzy Plant. Unless there's some serious quartzing, you guys, get some hashtag quartzing in the chat, please. Then looks like it Mason's match to lose. GG. Yeah, for those of you who didn't tune in at one of our previous streams, we had quartzing as the new PvP term, as if you miss bubbles due to incompetence. This is called quartzing.
I quartzed during my tournament. and it
Interesting.
ended up forcing instead of a win, it ended up being a simultaneous knockout.
Oh well. Jimma Bank said he knew it was a Thunderbolt. I wonder why you spent that shield. Were you hoping to keep that Swampert with a lot of HP or something later on? This is interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if the max energy the Lantern can hold, or that any Pokemon can hold, is 100 energy, and
Right.
Thunderbolt costs 55. So no matter what, you can't back-to-back Thunderbolt. Even to be able to get to the second Thunderbolt, you have to do 4 Water Guns.
Right.
So if Lantern ever like fires a charge move and then another one comes out pretty quickly, it can only be Thunderbolt.
He said he knew it was a Thunderbolt, but he just wanted to have Swampert with a lot of energy. I mean, with a lot of HP, so he recognizes it probably wasn't the best play. Do you want to do another one, Jimma? Send him another battle? A little rematch action going on. Oh, looks like House Stark. Just send us a little challenge. We can do Jimma afterwards. So we are doing the regionals meta, you guys. Tiwa still has a question for you, Mason. He's asking, why are you running Sableye and not Haunter? And I think he didn't say this explicitly, but I think he's saying, you traitor. Something like that.
I don't know. I wanted something that wasn't weak to confusion in this specific meta. We will. Well, I'll give a little previous Love Child a run here.
And now he's kicked it to the curb. He says Haunter was your love child. Alright, so now another very favorable lead. Haunter has the best possible matchup against Medicham. So out comes this Tropius. Not the worst place to be in. We can farm up a little bit more. It looks like he is using Air Slash, I think is what the animation was coming out for. It doesn't really matter against Skarmory. This Tropius doesn't really have much to do. We can certainly farm quite a bit of energy and take it out basically with these Air Slashes. At least Tropius has a slightly better matchup with Air Slash as opposed to Razor Leaf, but still, man, like this is not the kind of matchup you want to lose your Tropius to. So he was kind of hoping that you maybe wouldn't bring a Skarmory into this matchup. So now with Skarmory with a lot of energy, it's going to be interesting to see what he brings in response. So he's just waiting out the switch clock, give him a little bit more time to maybe switch out the matchup later. So Sky Attacks do come out, expecting a shield here from Medicham. The 2 shield, oh, looks like you quartzed a little bit. Might have missed the bubble.
Yep.
Damn. Okay, well he does tank that. I guess he was expecting you to quartz more, so that was an interesting play. But yeah, he did get the excellent here, and he did shield that. So Medicham here is just trying to take you out with that power-up punch and boost as much as possible, but he also knows that with Haunter in the back, he certainly doesn't want Haunter to be able to just farm up a lot of energy, but at this point we can just basically take him out with Shadow Claws. This is just not a good spot for House Stark to be in, because Venusaur, Azumarill matchup, we all kind of know how that goes. Certainly Venusaur doesn't want to take an Ice Beam, but with those Frenzy plants coming out, it's also going to force that last shield on Azumarill. So he does come out with that shield, expecting an Ice Beam soon, unless he's running that Player Up Hydro Pump variant, which is entirely possible, but with 2 shields here, we can certainly make some interesting decisions. So you do forego the shield. I guess you were hoping it was Player Off, or just want to save those shields for Haunter?
I was just trying to see what it was, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't totally matter, because with Haunter in the back, tons of energy, this match is pretty much a wrap. Frenzy Plant's going to take it out, but surely those Shadow punches are also going to take it out too. So out comes that Medicham with not a whole lot of HP. Shadow Punch is surely going to do the trick, but might as well overkill with those that Shadow Ball. That's GG. Match goes to Mason. Yeah, not the kind of matchup you want to be in the lead with Medicham. versus Haunter. Jeez. That's rough.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to outplay. That's like leading Bastiodon into Medicham. Just those very, very polarizing matchups. Medicham would have had to have come out with significant energy and like double Ice Punch or something.
We're getting some controversy. Gemma Banks is also on Team Sableye. He says, you had an amazing win in the regional tournament, but Haunter is pretty much retired now. Damn.
Oh no, I wouldn't
shots
say
fired.
that.
Shots fired against poor Haunter.
What goes well with Haunter, AJ? What do you usually pair with it?
I like to pair bulky, like, you know, Azumarill, for example, being so bulky, it doesn't need as many shields. Like Bastion, for example, might not need as many shields, so you can really save them up with Haunter.
Let's try this out.
Oh, looks like a lot of people sending you match requests there. You got a little
timed out as well.
Who are you up against?
I was I'm up against no one right now. I think I might have to. Let's see.
T-Wastel is saying Haunter pairs up pretty nicely with Umbreon. I agree. I definitely agree with that in freestyle. I don't know about regionals as much because of the lack of bulky mono-psychic types.
It is true. Yeah, Umbreon does catch a little bit more traction where the legendary psychics are around, like Cresselia, Defense Deoxys, Mew, Jirachi, etc.
Tataka is saying that a restart is required because now looks like you're all glitched up.
Alright, I went and restarted. What I do like about Haunter, though, that's still over Sableye, is that Shadow Ball is going to deal an incredible amount of damage, and then you also have... Oh, hold on, I'll need to reconnect with you over TeamViewer here.
Oh boy.
I do like that it has a positive matchup against Azumarill, whereas Sableye doesn't win that. But Sableye wins against Haunter.
We have triple zero, triple O, X, etc. on the chat here. Have you already gotten to Ultra with him? AKA Felipe, which I'm not saying his full name again. I think it's Felipe is his actual name.
I don't know if we're Ultra friends or not.
Back from Chicago.
What was I gonna run? I was gonna run something crazy. I was gonna run like Bastiodon Double Ghost. Just to see if I can compare the two. Side by side. I've never actually run this before, so...
Alright, looks like we're up against Gemma Banks in the regionals meta. Bastiodon lead versus Venusaur. Interesting. Now, Bastiodon doesn't really want to be in this particular matchup, but it's not the worst one to be a part of. I mean, like, equal energy, equal full HP. Certainly, Venusaur doesn't want to be taking any flamethrowers, but it's not like Bastion wants to be taking that many Frenzy Plants either, so we'll see how this plays out. Out comes the Frenzy Plant. As I said, does a ton of damage. Bastion being so bulky, out comes that Flamethrower. Fully expecting a shield to come out in response to this Venusaur, in response to this Flamethrower, so we're just chunking away. Frenzy Plant's going to come a lot faster just thanks to that Vine Whip energy gain. So out comes the Frenzy Plant, going to be very close to within knockout range of this Bastion. So he decides to play it out just to be at, I guess, higher shield situation, but Venusaur does have a ton of energy going into this, so we'll expect to see maybe a shield or a switch out. So he does go for the switch. Out comes Skarmory. We'll see if he goes for the Shadow Punch or the Shadow Ball. Either way,
I can double Shadow Ball in this situation.
You can, right, because he came in and he waited a little bit, right? So he does go for the he thought you might have been baiting there with the Shadow Punch, but surely now you don't really have to. use a Shadow Ball anymore. Looks like our stream just crashed, unfortunately. Our
Oh,
team
no.
viewer. Oh, never mind. It's back up again. Yeah, Scotty's just teasing me. So anyway, Skarmory did go down. Out comes a Swampert. Interesting matchup. Mudshot is doing a decent amount of damage. Haunter being so glassy. But out comes those Shadow Punches and forcing that last shield of the match on Swampert. Oh man, just barely not able to get that.
I needed that Shadow Punch.
That's a bummer because now it's Sableye is coming out and surely doesn't want to be taking any Hydro Cannons. Sableye is not like the bulkiest type.
Yeah.
Certainly it's no Haunter, but taking a Hydro Cannon is not good news. So if you can get to that
that's game.
foul play, does it really nuke it from this HP?
No, because Frenzy Plant. He has a Frenzy Plant saved up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So even though this foul play will knock it out, it's not enough to farm 2, and that is GG. I forgot that he switched out Venusaur. That whole tease from Scotty. Minimizing the window. Tisk tisk. Anyway, Frenzy Plant comes out. That is GG. Match goes to Jimma Banks. Very interesting little... You just wanted to compare the two? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I guess and just see if I could run like double Ghost. See if he like bought a fighter. If I could like bait it out with Bastiodon. See what happens. But the problem is that the anti-tank role is now not only like taken on by Medicham, is that Swampert does that job really, really well.
And Swampert is the reverse matchup with respect to like Haunter.
Right. Haunter and Sableye.
Oh, also, happy birthday, Jimmy Banks. Congratulations on that scrimmage victory. Well deserved. Happy birthday.
This week has been really, really good for PvP spawns. I picked up a rank 10 Skarmory and a rank 12 Land.
Ooh, very nice. So, at any rate, we have Venusaur paired up with Tropius. This should be a pretty good lead scenario for you. Looks like our screen here minimized again. I think Scotty's up to no good with his shenanigans. We do know that Tropius versus Venusaur, it is favorable for our Venusaur here. So, if it can
He's
get
running Air
Sledge
Slash, though.
Air Slash. Does Air Slash pull out the win, though, against Venusaur?
Air Slash does pull out the win against Venusaur.
Interesting. So I just have to guess what's happening because our team viewer did, in fact. Kapoots.
So I have Sableye, so he fainted down my Venusaur. I didn't expect a shield on it, so I'm bringing in Sableye. I'm going to try and faint down the rest of his Tropius, which is left with about 15% of its HP left. So I'm trying to get it before it gets to all of its Air Slashes. I wasn't able to feint it down, so Sableye is going to eat a Leaf Blade now, which is only going to do about 40% of its health. So now I have Sableye with about let's say around 80 energy, ready to take on this Skarmory that just switched in.
We are all hanging on the edge of our seats because we can't see. As soon as this match is over, you guys will get TeamViewer back up and running. It just seems like TeamViewer doesn't really like people that are ranked 2 in the Self Arena rankings worldwide. Something about very, very good rankings in Self Arena that is not friendly with TeamViewer.
So he bought out his Melmetal, didn't shield it against the Thunderbolt. I have Lantern with 1 shield, he has Melmetal with like 10% HP and 2 shields. It's very difficult to comment or commentate on the match, but it looks like I'm going to be able to feint him down with Water Guns. And he has a Skarmory in the back with 2 shields.
Oof. Someone's saying you
The
sung?
Lantern.
You sung last time? Did you sing on stream?
No, I think that was
That was Alex.
yeah.
I'll start. Yeah, Shadow Cold MFG. I think you're referring to when we hazed House Stark into singing on stream. We all applied peer pressure because we achieved the what was it, 100 or 200 viewers? I forget what it was exactly.
Oh, it's a shame that battle wasn't streamed. I finished it with a shield advantage.
Oh, really?
I bought Sableye, so yeah, Thunderbolt burned his last shield, and then I switched to Sableye, and then double foul played him. Alright. Activating team viewer.
Awesome. I want to see some Bronzong in action at some point of the night. It'd be really nice. I haven't expended on any TMs on my Bronzong. I'm hoping to just get another one. Maybe even trade it to me with 2 moves. That's like the best situation.
So the Bronzong that I have, AJ, I think you'll like if you remember it.
Oh yeah. Nice.
It's from you. But I don't
to me.
I don't have the on last night's stream I tried to TM it like 8 times and could not get Bulldoze.
Gemma Banks, you have a 2-move Bronzong to trade to me? That would just make my day. Are you gonna be in DC? Nice.
Every other, you said? So how does this go? I resist charm.
Okay, so yeah, he definitely doesn't want to be caught in that matchup. Bronzong being able to resist charm, out comes the Lantern response. I guess here
Oh
he
man, I was
definitely
thinking
doesn't want
fairy.
to be... Oh no, you're quartzing hard, man, on that Psyshock.
I know, I was thinking fairy.
Yeah. So he switched out to his Lantern in response. So taking that Psyshock definitely did a decent amount of damage. Bulldoze would have been clutch in this situation, and he decided not to shield. So he goes out with a Hydro Pump. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Maybe it was a misclick of some sort, but definitely Thunderbolt is what you want to be using against a Lantern here. Maybe he's trying to bait you in a not shield? I don't know. Very risky there because at this point you're just kind of being forced to use that energy. Yeah.
So right, because I
he's
held on
gonna
to swap
chip
advantage.
you out. But at least we're back to square one with Bronzong against Wigglytuff here. Wigglytuff is just desperately trying to get to an Ice Beam or Play Rough, both which are resisted by Bronzong here. So Psyshock does come out. Getting a little delay. I don't think you quartz because we did get an excellent there. So out comes the Psyshock. Sure enough, it's enough to take out that Wigglytuff. And if we're able to get to that Flash Cannon, that would be nice. And so we do go for the switch, trying to burn out this Altaria, since we should expect some shields at some point. So Sableye, if it's able to land a power gem that is pretty nice against an enemy Altaria, we'll see if he goes for the shield against this foul play. If he was paying attention to the energy gain, he'll know it was a foul play, but otherwise, we'll see what he does. So at this point, it is his last mon, so he might just be shielding anyway. That being said, a Bronzong with a lot of energy in the back is... You might want to be shielding that in case of an eventual flash cannon. So we'll see how he ends up playing this out. Honestly, I think the play here, Mason, is you're just trying to beat out its energy, its shield as much as possible, then come in with Bronzong and finish it off, right?
Yeah.
So he does go for the shield here, and we're able to get to that last foul play.
I was trying to try for that. Yeah. I was going to try for the power gem, but I think foul play would have definitely done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think foul play wasn't really necessary, but sure enough, that flash cannon is just gonna nuke this Altaria out of oblivion, and that is GG. Now that Altaria Bronzong matchup is a very interesting one. it isn't like a slam dunk like it is for Bastiodon, but if it lands a Flash Cannon, it is not good news at all for Altaria. Back when Bronzong only had Heavy Slam and Flash Cannon, and then like Psychic, Double Steel was its like favored moveset. And so it was just a matter of whether you wanted to take that Heavy Slam or the Flash Cannon with an Altaria. Gemma Banks, I'm sorry, I can't fly you out here or to DC. It's a bummer as much for me as it is for you. Maybe more for you.
So I'm gonna do my best to go back to the original power trio.
Now you're still planning on running these three in your regionals comp, or you just not decided yet?
All of these Pokemon up here that I have on the screen are things that I would absolutely consider bringing.
Yeah.
I just want to like play around with several different options so that I just don't run the same team on stream.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be tricky, man. That's a very stacked field you have for Showdown, no doubt. So we do have Medicham versus Azumarill. Does go for the immediate switch out to the Mirror. So we'll see if he has a counter to Azumarill and if he maybe wants to just use energy farm this Azumarill a little bit more. So out comes his charge move. We'll see if it's Play Rough, Ice Beam, or Hydro Pump. Sure enough, he does go for the Play Rough. It is the required move for the Mirror matchup here. So we do go for the Play Rough, and we will see if he goes for the Shield. At this point, getting a Shield on a Play Rough isn't so bad, but getting a Shield on like an Ice Beam is not great at all. But him having Hydro Pump and Play Rough, there's really no sense in using anything but Play Rough. So they're just going to spam at each other. If the opponent has an Ice Beam and he fails to bait, then that's not good for them, right? So he does go for the switch out to Skarmory. I guess he's maybe expecting you to have Ice Beam or something. We'll see. But if Hydro Pump does come out and it lands on the Skarmory, it is not looking good for him at all. So he does not block it, and sure enough, it does a ton of damage against the Skarmory. So we're not even going to shield this Sky Attack, and it does nuke this, what's left of this Azumarill. So out with the Mirror match, except this enemy Skarmory doesn't have a whole lot of HP left, so we're able to farm it up a little bit. So out comes either Sky Attack or Flash Cannon. Kind of expecting a Flash Cannon here, but anyway, Sky Attack does come out. Sky Attack will just come out a little bit quicker, so if you can just give this Skarmory a little bit of parting gift, then that's nice. So out comes your Sky Attack with a lot of energy built up. I wouldn't expect a shield to come out of this, mainly because he just wants to be as equal in shield as possible for this next matchup. So out does come Swampert. Now Swampert doesn't want to be taking any Sky Attack, so should expect a shield from it at some point. Get a little Quartzing in there, a little Quartzing action, so we do have to shield that Sky Attack as predicted. If he gets a Hydro Cannon in, it's not looking good for this Skarmory at all. So it looks like you are foregoing the shield. It is going to take out what's left of the Skarmory, and we're going to be at 2 shield advantage with this Medicham. So it is interesting because if it's able to build up energy, or rather boost with that power-up punch, Medicham late game is just going to be a huge threat. So it does go for the power-up punch. I don't think Swampert needs to shield this first power-up punch. It's just not going to do a whole lot of damage, but
I'm going to let this one slide.
Yeah, so that Hydro Cannon is going to do quite a bit of damage, and now whatever comes out next, Medicham is still going to be in the yellow, but with a boosted counter now. Power-up punch is the second boost. And sure enough, that Azu is going to have to shield this, and it's not looking great for this Azu at all. Because now these counters are totally boosted. He does have a shield left to block this Play Rough, I'm assuming. Ice Beam.
Ooh, Ice Beam Play Rough. So I have to get to Power Punch.
So
ooh, nice, he got
Beam,
it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with Ice Beam. It has a more sure matchup against Venom, and he is going to be able to take you out. That's within knockout range for sure. And so that is GG. Very nicely played. That's just another argument why you want to think about Ice Beam as a moveset for Azumarill. That Ice Beam Play Rough is just so classic, but Play Rough and Hydro Pump has certainly gained a lot of traction because of the rise of the bulky steel types. So, but very nicely played.
Good game, Slickathon. Would you like to reconnect, Scott? Yeah.
So if you guys have any requests in chat, let us know. As far as like any of the mods that Mason has up on there on the screen, if you want to see any of them at play, just yeah, let us know any unique team comps that you want to see for the regionals meta. And if you have any, if you're ultra friends with Mason, just go ahead and send him a battle, and we'll get the ball rolling on some battles with him. We are reconnecting with TeamViewer, so you guys should be seeing it any minute now. If you don't already.
I want to run Azu. No, I don't want Azu as a lead, actually. Hold on. Let's try the Swampert.
Have you pretty much ditched Alolan Raichu to the curb?
I haven't counted it out entirely, but I mean, basically, Sableye and the Haunter do its job, and a little bit better because it beats Alolan Raichu, so.
Right. Yeah, Alolan Raichu definitely doesn't want to be caught taking any of those Shadow Claws, for sure.
Yeah. But, Grass Knot Alolan Raichu is pretty interesting. It doesn't beat Swampert, but if Swampert tries to switch in, it definitely can hit it with a Grass Knot.
Alright, so we do have Hypno in the lead against Skarmory. Skarmory does have the upper hand. However, Hypno has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. You just don't know what's going to come out with its new move sets now. So anyway, Sky Attack does come out. In response to this Skarmory, I guess he just wants to chip away a little bit further at it before switching out to whatever else we have. I'm kind of blanking on what you have there in the back, but either way, your Skarmory with a lot of energy advantage is going to have a good situation coming into this counter Skarmory switch. So we're just chunking away at it with Sky Attacks, expecting more of the same from the opponent. Might be a Flash Cannon, probably is going to be a Sky Attack, but we'll see. Sky Attack does come out, and it is chipping away. They're just two high bulk Mon just chipping away at each other with not very effective charge moves. Not the most thrilling of matchups, but certainly is a very, very common one. So with Swampert there in the back, does go for the switch, and he's just basically gaining as much energy as possible before that last Sky Attack does come out. So we shouldn't expect a shield from this Skarmory unless he really wants to get that Sky Attack in. So we'll see if he does, and sure enough, that Sky Attack does come out, forces the shield. Now we're even shields. I suppose he just didn't want you to have two shields remaining for the rest of the match, but he knew he's still going to lose this particular matchup. So maybe you get aggressive in the farming. Sure enough,
yeah,
Hydro Cannon does come out. You just don't want to be using a shield on another, Sky Attack that you just could have been avoiding. So although it looks like overkill, and it's one of the situations where you want to keep that shield for later. And it's not like Swampert doesn't have a whole lot of energy here. It does have pretty much a Hydro Cannon basically charged up. And against an enemy Hypno, Hypno certainly doesn't want to be taking this neutral damage from a very, very high DP charge move, which is Hydro Cannon. So out comes that Hydro Cannon, just takes a nice large chunk of that Hypno's HP. And honestly, we'll just have to wait and see what Hypno has to offer. Ice Punch It is going to be doing neutral against Swampert. Not a whole lot of damage, though, coming in from Hypno. So out comes that last Hydro Cannon. We'll see if he does go for the shield. And sure enough, he does. I suppose he's just trying to take you out with Confusions. But it's going to be rough because if he... Oh, nice. So he does go for the Ice Punch, I presume. And he wants to finish you off. He knew he's probably going to be really, really close. I think he probably could have taken you out with Confusions, to be honest, but...
I'm gonna
it's
make
hard to say in the moment.
aggressive play here.
Yeah.
Oh, he got to the... So he had an Ice Punch banked, which is what I wasn't expecting.
So now Ice Punch is pretty low energy, and Confusion does charge up fairly quickly, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, especially because Confusion does so much damage to this Venusaur, basically leaving it within the red. Out comes Swampert, and Frenzy Plant is going to nuke this baby just out of oblivion. I mean, just overkill situation on Swampert, and that is GG. Match goes to Mason. Yeah, shields down, Swampert versus Venusaur, Frenzy Plant ready to go. The rest is just a formality. I mean, even with a little bit of Quartzing, you can take it out.
Right. Yeah, because Swampert is definitely not the bulkiest option, and Frenzy Plant deals a lot of damage, being double effective, so it's...
Let's get some Fs in the chat for that poor Swampert that went down.
Oh, here's a... he just apologized for the Hypno. I'm not even sure what that means. Here's a core that I saw run.
Oh yeah,
often.
Hypno is illegal in regionals.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It is oh, thanks to X up there. Let's see. I need a nice check to Altaria. Or Skarmory. Let's see.
Alright, now the Spoofer is coming up against your Sableye with his Swampert, Hydro Cannon plus Mud Shot. It's not going to be a great situation for the Sableye to be in, sure enough. Foul Play will do a decent amount of damage, but it's not like Swampert wants to be... Oh, interesting. So you do get that switch in right into Tropius, so it's sure going to be able to tank Hydro Cannon fine. And it doesn't even do a whole lot of damage, even with how much damage that Tropius actually does, or Hydro Cannon actually does. So he does counter switch to Jirachi. Now Jirachi is legal thanks to its steel typing. So we'll see how this matchup goes. Air Slash certainly is resisted thanks to Jirachi's steel typing, but it's at least able to get to those Leaf Blades quicker. Thus, I suspect a better matchup against Jirachi particularly. So Doom Desire does a ton of damage, or does a decent amount of damage against Tropius, and we're just barely not able to get to that last Leaf Blade before parting ways with Jirachi, but Sableye is able to do just a ton of damage against this Jirachi. Doesn't really need to use a shield, I don't think. I think it can tank the Doom Desire, we'll see. And sure enough, it can. I mean, Sableye isn't the bulkiest there is, but certainly it is better than Haunter in this case. Haunter, I don't think, wants to be taking any Doom Desires. Certainly not paired with that Confusion damage, which Sableye does very nicely in resisting.
Uh-oh.
So, wow. I don't suspect a shield to come out, even if it were Power Gem. It's not like Sableye has much to do against Azu, but at least we are able to get that Power Gem in, and I just don't suspect a shield to come out. Oh, interesting. So I guess he just didn't really want to take that Power Gem, so that's interesting play. Ice Beam, play rough. It's all going to do neutral damage to Swampert, but Swampert being so glassy, it certainly doesn't want to be taking too many of those before going down. So we are at equal shields here. Swampert does gain energy a lot faster than Azumarill, but of course Azumarill does resist its move, so if it can land an Earthquake, it's looking pretty okay, but Hydro Cannon is certainly going to do a ton of damage, so, or a decent amount of damage, rather. Azumarill resists, and in being so bulky, it can certainly tank a Hydro Cannon. So out comes the Ice Beam, as we said. He does go for the switch to his own Swampert.
That's stupid.
Already shipped away. So what did you use? You used he used Hydro Cannon.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
I didn't. I should have fired. I had so much energy built up. I could have double Hydro Cannoned.
Yep. Yeah, you're very aggressive at energy farming for sure. And sometimes it comes back to bite you in the butt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's what these scrims are for. GG's.
Good game, good game.
Looks like Quartz just subscribed to Tier 1.
I know that guy.
Sounds familiar. Isn't he the guy that found out about quartzing? I have to renew my
Scott,
subscription.
How
too.
many battles has it been? Alright, Mr. Valor once more. Alright, one more. Alright. What's on my list of things?
Yeah, I see a lot of people are subscribing with Twitch Prime. For those of you who don't know, if you link your Twitch account with Amazon Prime and you're already a subscriber to the Amazon Prime service, you can get a Twitch sub for free because Amazon owns Twitch and they have that sort of shared login process going on. So you'll be able to use all of our cool emotes, and it definitely helps the stream as well. It is not automatically, though. You have to do it manually, so that's something that I have to do for sure. So anyway, Altaria against Haunter. This is a solid matchup for Altaria. Dragon Breath certainly is going to do a ton of damage against Haunter. Certainly, Altaria doesn't want to be taking Shadow Balls, but does go for the switch out. Sky Attack or Dragon Pulse is going to do a whole lot against Azumarill, so with a little bit of energy gained up, we'll see if he goes for the Ice Beam. And
it's going to be an Ice Beam.
Yeah, because he sent it out so quickly.
It came out quick.
Certainly wasn't playing rough. So we'll see if Azu goes for the shield. I suspect he will, just because even though he's going to be at a shield disadvantage here, he certainly doesn't want to be taking a Frenzy Plant from Venusaur. So we are able to get to that second Frenzy Plant, and we'll see if Azu goes for the shield. If he does shield, well, then he's going to be at a 2 shield disadvantage, and sure enough, he does go for that play. So he's just trying to farm you up, and sure enough, he's able to take you down with what's left. And Scarlet does come out.
I don't suspect Ice Beam, Hydro Pump.
Yeah, it's going to be Ice Beam spam from here on out. Ice Beam Hydro Pump is a very risky moveset for Azu. So out comes Haunter. Oof. This is rough because Haunter is just going to be able to spam its charge moves coming out, and so Shadow Ball does come out, and it's going to be basically nuking Skarmory, but I think he died with energy. I think he got greedy because he probably did have a Shadow Claw ready to go, or a Shadow Punch ready to go.
A Shadow Punch?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why would he throw out Troop? Oh, I guess he's hoping that Oh. Well, now you know what he has on the back is, I should have fired that Sky Attack. I need as much energy here as I can possibly get. Actually, well, no, I wouldn't have been able to farm it from full health. Basically, he's hoping that he gets my Altaria locked up against his Azu.
Yeah, Aerial Ace isn't doing much against this Skarmory, so... And then sure enough, with Flash Cannon and Sky Attack, Flash Cannon is certainly gonna... I don't think it's within knockout range, but it's certainly very close. Flash Cannon does have a fair amount of DP. Oh yeah, wow, interesting.
Alright. There it
That was
goes.
close though, right? I don't think it was
Yeah.
much overkill
That's
in that
that,
situation.
The attack weighted Skarm.
Yeah.
I don't have a bulky Skarm yet that I've powered up.
I guess some people are wanting you to sing on stream.
They want me to sing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests for the Pokemon theme song. Like you're Ash and you're going on this journey, you know?
Oh man, that'd be very bad. Oh yeah, okay, perfect timing, Scott. I have a team viewer pulled up. Yeah.
We calling it a night?
No, we're just rebooting TeamViewer.
Oh, gotcha.
So what have I not run so much of so far?
I haven't seen you run much at all of Probopass, or Delayed.
Alright.
You said you ran Melmetal, but that was after one of the TeamViewer sessions crashed. And I think everything else, you only ran Bastiodon in that gimmick team.
Alright.
You guys just jumping in. Can you hear me?
No.
Great.
Yeah, we can hear you. What's going on, Chist?
Not much. Just got off work. Figured I'd see what's
Awesome.
going on in the Pogoverse.
Well, right now in the Pogoverse, we have Probopass matched up with Azumarill. Sure enough, we know that Azumarill, if it lands a Hydro Pump, it's not great for this Probopass, but it certainly is a good matchup. So you have an interesting charge move comp there with Magnet Bomb and Thunderbolt. Kind of interesting. We tend to see a lot more Rock Slide Thunderbolts out of Probopass. So it'd be interesting to know as soon as this battle is over what your logic is with that. If it's not a charge TM.
It is a charge TM problem. But actually, I think that was just what the simulator suggested the first time around. So that's just kind of what I've always been going with.
Yeah, there's certainly cases where Rock Slide comes in pretty clutch, but anyway, out comes this Ice Beam from Azumarill, and not great to be blocking Ice Beams. Honestly, Probopass being so bulky and double resisting Ice Beam, kind of like a wasted shield, but I guess
Single resist?
you were expect. Doesn't it rock resist ice and steel resist ice?
Let's see. Oh my
that's
gosh,
right.
really? I've been shielding that much damage the whole time? And overtap. Wonderful.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I know I don't have to ask you guys twice. But anyway, out comes this Venusaur. I guess you just don't want to be taking that Ice Beam by switching out to Gallade. But Ice Beam is still just going to do a ton of damage against this Gallade, more than half HP, and sure enough, out comes this Scarf. Oh man,
there's the
that's so
Scarf.
rough.
Yeah, that's
That is
why I
so
run
rough.
that. I was trying to draw out Skarmory. I forgot to run this actual sacrificial swap. I was gonna like swap in Gallade. That's what I should have done.
Right.
Drawn in the Skarmory.
Yeah, so who cares at this point with Venusaur and Gallade? I mean, Skarmory just sweeps there.
Alright. Good game.
Choose, were you able to see that match on our screen share here?
Yeah, I got it there.
Awesome.
The for the moveset on Probopass, is Altaria really the only main reason to be running Rock Slide? I was trying to think of what you're losing by using Magnet Bomb instead.
I mean, Rock Slide helps against not so great matchups like Lantern, for example. Sure does help against I think Tropius, right? I'm gonna double check that.
It does it help in the Probopass or the Bastiodon matchup? Does it help in the Bastiodon matchup? Because I know Rock Slide is resisted, and that I think I want to know if you can Magnet Bomb a Bastiodon to death. Because now that you mention it, I think that's why I'm running Magnet Bomb.
Well, it recommends
For the
Magnet
Bastiodon
Bomb,
matchup.
Rock Slide, but you don't actually
Oh,
need
really?
Magnet Bomb.
In lieu
like,
of
part of the
Thunderbolt?
appeal. Yeah, part of the appeal of Probopass is that with Spark is that it can take out a Bastiodon in the 1 and the 2 shields.
So what is the situation? Can Azu double Hydro Pump in the 1 shield? I remember there's a matchup with Azumarill that Probopass is not like. I know that it will lose straight up to Hydro Pump in the no shield situation. You happen to have a simulator nearby you?
Which one?
Bastiodon. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Azu
Probopass.
Yep. I have it
Probopass.
up.
Azu. Yeah. Okay.
With Spark, Thunderbolt, Magnet Bomb. Is that what you're looking?
Mm-hmm. And then,
yeah, so in
what
the
is its
stock-
matchups against Azumarill with Play Rough and Ice Beam?
Yeah, so across the board, Azumarill loses, but it ties in the 2 shields. And with the 1 shield, it is baiting a little bit. Ice Beam really only does 19 damage. Play Rough does 23, so it's not like not a whole lot's going on against this Probopass. But with Magnet Bomb, I suppose Magnet Bomb is lower energy. Yeah, it's 10 less energy than Thunderbolt. So.
Then Rock Slide? Or
What about Rock Slide? Yeah, good question.
Rock Slide and Magnet Bomb are the same, right? Oh, I thought I could get
45 energy for yeah. But Rock Slide does more damage than Magnet Bomb does. Alright, so we were able to take out that Bastiodon. He is coming in with his Gallade. Certainly, Lantern doesn't want to be taking any Leaf Blades. Does kind of force that shield if we want to get that Thunderbolt off. Thunderbolt, it's going to take a lot of energy. I think what you really just wanted is to get that Thunderbolt in before the Leaf Blade, let the Lantern go down with almost no energy, but that's just life. So anyway, no quartzing to be had here with this Thunderbolt. It is able to just do a ton of damage if that goes unshielded, so he is able to switch. Interesting. I suppose he just wants to finish up Lantern however possible.
Come on.
Yeah, that was a very calculated move because he knew you weren't going to be able to get to that Thunderbolt before you go down, and Venusaur doesn't really have much to do against this Skarmory either, so this is, I mean, something crazy is going to happen for you to win this, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
have to be
that's
able
not
to-
happening.
You basically would have to be able to dodge like you're in a raid. You're like hot from side. That'd be a riot, right? To see that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if like you're in a tournament and then it just so happens that nobody's ever tried to dodge before? Like,
You discover the
Someone
new
just
shit.
cracked it all of a sudden?
You're the first. Your opponent's like the first person to ever do that, and like he just lobs to the side, totally avoiding your sky attacks.
That's one of those throw your phone across the room situations.
I'd just be amazed, I think. I'd just be in such shock. We did have a question about best charge moves on Gallade. Even with Synchronoise, I think the consensus is Leaf Blade close combat, right? That's the moveset to have, right, Choost? Did we lose Choost?
No.
Oh, there you
Still
are.
here. You still hear me?
You're clipping a
Thanks.
little bit.
I think the interesting question is also
Yeah,
I think the wider, more
you're sounding
generalist.
a little bit like a robot right now. I don't think we can make any. Mason, can you hear him okay or no?
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you're basically using 2 cups with like those little strings attached to it. And that's somehow connected to a cardboard router, and that's what you're using.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get really clipped on my end for you guys.
Oh, there it is.
too. Hold on, let me try and restart.
Okay, so
Oh, he wants to
Sableye
stay.
against Skarmory. I'm interested to see.
I think
how
I
this...
win the 0 and 1 shield, or I win the 0 and 2. I don't win the 1 shield. So
Right.
since I've already burned 1 shield, I either have to commit.
Yeah, because if he burns
I have
this,
to commit to 2 shields.
yeah, if you want to win,
Oh, I do want to win. I like winning. Winning sounds nice.
winning the lead. Now, can you take it out with just Shadow Claws, or do you have to use that last foul play?
I think I would have had to have used it.
Oh, interesting. He does go for the Azumarill here, so.
I hope this is a play rough.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's not a play rough. Does that look like a play rough to you?
No.
That was kind of rough.
Yeah, that was a rough play, but not a play rough. I cracked myself up. Alright, so Frenzy Plant does come out. He's fully expecting a shield here.
Oh my gosh.
So if he gets that Ice Beam, it is GG for this Venusaur. I guess you were just hoping, fingers crossed, to get that play rough in, even if... No, Ice Beam was just within killing range, so there wasn't really much solid reason to be using a play rough against you, even if he does have play rough. So does Swampert come out? Sure enough, it does. Hydro Cannon, Azu is just going to be able to tank a Hydro Cannon. So with a lot of energy coming in, oh, interesting. So you do go for the Hydro Cannon, I suppose.
Yeah.
He might have
I don't
had a Sky Attack ready to go, or almost ready to go. So we are able to chip away at this Skarmory, expecting either a Play Rough or Ice Beam to come out. Not a great situation for the Swampert to be in. However, this is an argument for Sludge Wave, right? So Sludge Wave would have definitely nuked Azu a lot quicker, but Earthquake is going to do the trick here too, because Earthquake is going to be able to just do a ton of damage against this Azu. So out does come Umbreon, and we're able to get that Hydro Cannon fairly quickly. Hydro Cannon is just almost a broken move with just how hard it hits, but Umbreon late game is going to be able to fully throttle these two less bulky mon. Even with Power Gem coming out, he's able to get that charge move quicker, but he would have been able to definitely tank a Power Gem, no problem. So Umbreon is just so bulky that it's just a rough matchup against a lot of things if they're on low HP.
Ooh, it's Smogon Devo. That sounds like a good suggestion.
Someone said winning is for losers. Wait, what?
Alright, Scott.
I think Smogon Devo is going to want to battle you. Smogon Devo, if you...
Yeah. I have
with
his,
Mason.
it's lined up right now.
Oh, it's already? Okay, great.
So I've been using Swampert quite a bit, and it just hasn't been performing for me.
Really?
Yeah, in every single match that I've bought it in so far, it hasn't done well for me.
Now, I'm not remembering exactly what you brought it in with, but I would suspect that Swampert eats a fair amount of shields most of the time. So maybe pairing it with some bulkier options. At any rate, this Gallade is going to just trunk away with confusion against Venusaur. Do expect to switch out pretty quickly. Out comes Azumarill. He does have the winning matchup there, so I'm not sure why bring out Clefable. Charm is going to sure do a lot of neutral damage against the Azumarill. Play Rough does come out, and it looks like we get the shield at least. So if Clefable is able to get those Doom Desires out, at this point it is sure going to be within knockout range. So if you want to keep that Azu, I suspect a shield coming out from Mason at some point. So yeah, sure enough. I meant Meteor Mash, not the Doom Desire. Doom Desire on Clefable would be interesting. Joker Gaming, please don't post your trainer code here. That's what our Go Stadium Discord is for. We do have a Discord channel dedicated for that. So if you click on that invite.gg/Go Stadium, go to our friends codes channel, you can connect with people and share your friend code.
It's gonna hurt,
so anyway.
but I'm gonna tank it.
Ooh, close combat. Sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can tank it. So anyway, it does come out with the Swampert, and you're able to counter switch to Venu, which is excellent. Sure won't take an Earthquake kindly, but Hydro Cannon is at least resisted. So this is not a great situation for Swampert to be in. I think he's going to be forcing a shield on you just to probably be safe here. I think it's within knockout range. It's just super close. So at any rate, I think you might have just 2 Frenzy Plants ready to go against Gallade though. And Gallade certainly doesn't want to
Pretty
take
close.
Neutral damage Frenzy Plant. And yeah, so you're going to be able to get to that second Frenzy Plant, I think. And sure enough, you are.
Yep.
So anyway.
A little undertap.
We are able to give a nice little gift. So no Quartzing here. Frenzy Plant does come out, and that is GG. You're liking Venusaur a lot?
I am
this time
liking
around?
Venusaur.
Yeah.
Because, as you just saw, once you know Gallade's matchups, it's not as intimidating, I suppose. The biggest thing that I had going for it in round 1 of regionals was that it was a big curveball. Nobody knew how to deal with it. Everybody around me was running simulations on like how to beat Gallade.
Right.
And the key thing, at least for me, was I knew its matchups and my opponents didn't. So Gallade actually loses to Venusaur in the no shield situation.
Oh yeah.
Because the only thing that it can fire is a Leaf Blade.
Right.
Before Venusaur gets a killing Frenzy Plant.
It's kind of like Venomoth and Golbat in Twilight, right? So like, with shields up, Venomoth just chonks away at Golbat with Confusion faster than like Wing Attack does. But you know, shields down, the favor goes towards Golbat because Shadow Ball is just going to take out that Venomoth quite nicely. Versus the charge moves on Venomoth unless it's running Psychic. Sorry, I'm nerding out with Twilight because that's obviously my favorite meta. So, which, by the way, we're very close on getting a infographic. I basically have a preliminary, which Smogon has been roasting the last few hours, and then we should have an article very soon, followed by some kind of meta-analysis discussion. So, Medicham does come out against Swampert. This is a favorable matchup, as we've learned countless times from Boulder. He does farm up a little bit of energy. He might just use a Hydro Cannon out. Interesting. So you do switch out to Venusaur.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what your logic is with that play. I guess you just want to neutralize that.
I was looking at a chat actually, and I didn't realize the game had started, so I lost count of turns. I mean, I guessed. So.
Interesting. So,
But yeah, I should have stayed in there.
Frenzy Plant.
Actually, I don't want to hurt him that much. I only want to take off a little bit because I want to be able to farm as much off of him with Medicham as I can.
Oh, true. So that is not Quartzing, you guys. For those of you who might be saying this, it's when you do it on purpose, it's not Quartzing. It's when you miss them due to incompetence. So I think he just is catching on to what you're doing here. He just doesn't want to he doesn't want to get farmed by Medicham here. So that's an interesting little Mexican standoff we had going on. So I think in that case, though, he could run out the timer.
Oh, yuck.
Run it out. Oof. Oof, you guys. Charm is just chunking away at this Medicham with all the energy, stat boost in the world. It's not going to do well against this Clefable that is just chunking away at our poor Medicham. Even with his shield.
What did he lead with? What did he lead with? Swampert? Okay.
He led with Swampert, switched out to this, to Probopass, and now it's Clefable here, so. Certainly don't want to have Probopass up against this Skarmory, but a Flash Cannon would do quite nicely against it, so. He does go for the Meteor. Oh, Moonblast? That's interesting. I would have expected a Meteor Mash there, but in any case, he does go for the
Swampert. What the?
What?
I think I switched it in with no health, so it died.
You did. Yeah. Man, that was a sad day for your Venusaur, losing to the Swampert like that.
That's why you can't, when you switch them out like that, you need a little bit of wiggle room.
It's like your Venusaur was just about to shout like in the anime when they do their voices and it goes like saw, you know, like he does that very long saw, right? But he just got cut off and just got shut down by those mud shots from Swampert. So, well, this is not looking great because we did waste all that energy on Venusaur. Sky attacks do come out and take out. Oh, that was his last one. Interesting. So what else did he have? He had Clefable. He had
Probopass and Swampert.
And so,
yeah, we had that weird Mexican standoff. Not Mexican
yeah,
standoff.
So,
just a
oh yeah, that's right.
standoff.
Because you took out the Swampert with Venusaur. Yeah, interesting.
That was just an odd game all around.
Yeah, he did catch on to what you were. Either he caught on to what you were doing, or he was like, trying to be respectful and thought maybe you were lagging or something.
Yeah, one of the two. I think this is gonna be the last one of the stream.
Oh, okay. Against.
I don't know how long. I don't know how long I wanted to go on for. Yeah.
We're coming into the hour and a half mark, I think. So. Someone's saying that not touching bubbles to be able to farm afterwards is ValorAshing. Well, ValorAshing is when you eat on stream, so I don't know. I think that term is kind of taken away. Pulling a Mason.
Oh, there's the one. Oh, he knew it. He knew it. He knew it. I ran this in practice against him like so many times. It's not even funny.
Oh,
and there goes like my only.
Yeah, because Altaria just rips through your team. The whole thing.
Yeah, Altaria. The whole thing. And he was like, aren't you concerned about Altaria? And I was like, well, I mean, a little bit, but I didn't see it, too much.
Yep.
I think this is gonna be... Is it?
Yeah, well, this is the last, you're saying this is the last match of the night. It's just gonna be an interesting little festival that Altaria has against the rest of the lineup here. Play roughs are going to come out against this Lantern. Don't expect shields on your end just because you just want to save those shields potentially for Altaria, I suppose, but we do get into this over farming territory with Lantern here, so he does go out for that last play rough, and we'll see what you end up doing here. Venusaur comes out and the counter switch. The Lantern doesn't actually have that amount of HP. That's just a little visual glitch. So
Yuck.
he does get that Sky attack. Gross.
Double resistant Frenzy Plant, single resist, neutral Sludge Bomb.
This is just so rude. Bringing an Altaria to your team is like bringing a Bastiodon to like the early days of Bastiodon to like a team
The
that wasn't.
triple flyer. Yeah.
It was so rough. I got torn a new one in a freestyle tournament against a Bastiodon, and all I had to deal with it was Whiscash. Everything else lost on my team. It wasn't good. But in my defense, Bastiodon was like really, really new, so.
And that's gonna be 4-way. He's gonna shield. He even survives his next Thunderbolt, so it's not even.
Yep.
Can't forget the original King of Freestyle.
Just come down with 2 shields, because why not? Doesn't really matter. Dragon Breath is doing all the heavy lifting there anyway, so.
All right, good games. Thanks, Nut.
Did you draw any conclusions from these matchups?
I do like how it ended with Altaria because at the very beginning, remember we were discussing, the rise of Swampert, or I guess the introduction of Swampert, and then it's as highlighted its key role within the meta, which is countering a lot of the tanks. Great spam, and a good matchup against Skarmory. And so I said, don't forget about Altaria because with the rise of Swampert, and then to counter the rise of Swampert, those grass types, Altaria just cannot be forgotten as the original King of Freestyle.
Yeah.
Him and Azu. Man,
you've really come around. When we first started these streams, you were calling them Altaria, Trophus. I kind of missed that. Missed that a little bit. It was,
no worries. When we Gen 5 is a whole new. I have no idea. It's just gonna be a shot in the dark, unless it's like a legendary or a key meta player. In like the in the games, it's just all their names are gonna be shot in the dark.
Oh my god, it's a shot in the dark is generous when it comes to me. Like I'm looking at these. We've been running the Unova playthrough for those of you interested in Gen 5. We've been doing that, and basically I just get a little bit inebriated and criticize the designs because I certainly don't know the names, and a lot of them, like there's one that's called Subat instead of Zubat.
Subat, really? Or you just made that up?
No,
it's just lazy.
Like,
it's like a flying cloud, like psychic and flying or something. I don't even know. But yeah, the Gen 5 is gonna throw us all for a loop until we just figure out what's meta and what isn't.
Right.
Subat. Yeah. Well, anyway, GG's. Choost, I think you had some mic problems coming in and out there, unfortunately. But it looks like you're back on. Basically to say goodbye.
You were saying he was having laptop issues with an old laptop that he travelled to Spain with, so he's going to sort it out for next time.
Yes. Well, luckily that won't happen to me because I didn't bring a laptop to Spain, so it's all good. Nobody panic. And I think this is a wrap, you guys. We'll do more at another time, but yeah, I think we're pretty much done, right? That's what you were saying, Mason. You got to go.
All
right.
Yeah, we're gonna go raid a Marathon Madness that's happening down in I think New Zealand.
Awesome.
They've got 8 self-themed tournaments going on, so we're actually gonna go give them a raid now. And
sure. Before you send that raid, you want to remind guys of the dates for Ultimate Showdowns coming up this month?
As I quickly bring up Twitter, just to make sure I get the right dates.
As you quickly bring up, I know, yeah, we have Seattle, Philadelphia, and Mainz, Germany. We're going to be doing these Ultimate Showdowns, basically marathons of all of the eligible Mirror Cup metas. Top ranking players. They've already been announced. Follow us on Twitter at Go Stadium PvP, and you'll be able to see those really cool promo vids. You'll be able to see all the players that will be going in. I'll be
oh, indeed.
I'll be shoutcasting with King in Philly believe Tiwa still will be shoutcasting in Seattle. I don't remember who with, but it's going to be just a ton of fun. For those of you who want to go in person, they are selling tickets and they're being sold very, very quickly. So if that's something you're interested in, just jump in on Twitter and buy a ticket as soon as possible because space is limited. Do you have the dates up, Scotty?
Yep. So we've got Seattle is on the 24th of August. And then on the 25th of August, we got Mainz, Germany, which actually I'm going to. So I'm traveling across to Germany, got a 10-hour road trip. With one of the participants, they weren't able to make it until they found out that I was driving. So I'm giving them a lift there so that they can attend. So which is really
Nice.
good. And then we got the Philly tournament on the 31st of August. So yeah, good long weekend of
Save the best for last.
Yeah, that Philly one is going to be very good, very, very good.
I mean, we have some just top tier players in the Philly. It's going to be Mason, aka ValorAsh, who you've just seen playing a lot on stream today. We're going to see House Stark. King's going to be there, but he's going to be shoutcasting with me. We're going to have Caleb Pang from Atlanta. We're going to have quite a few just like top tier players. Who?
Toshi, from New York.
Oh yeah, Toshi.
Toshi?
From where is he?
New York, I believe. He came down to the Pittsburgh tournament. Yeah, I met him in person for the second time there.
Okay then too. He's in my Ranger lobby. Just some stellar players across the board. Very stacked lobby, and it's just gonna be so much fun to watch, to be a part of it.
Toshi's from
excited.
New York.
And now I think we're done.
Yeah. And so we'll give a raid over to these guys over in New Zealand, and so the EU is going to be quite late. I'm going to bed, but I'm sure you guys across the pond will be maybe watching this tournament. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
The tournament with all the top players is going to be on. Well, just repeat the dates real quick before we do the raid.
So Seattle is the 24th of August. Mainz, Germany is the 25th of August, and Philly 31st?
Yes.
31st
yeah, I think the 31st.
So, let's do a raid over to the guys in New Zealand in a couple of seconds. And thanks for joining us, guys, and make sure you follow us on Twitter for the next stream, and we will catch you soon.
Toodles.